It is January 2nd, 2020. New decade, new rundown. It's me, Brandon fucking Walker, Big Daddy Trent, Dave. Tommy's making a ton of fucking noise.
He could have done that. We've been here 10 minutes. He could have done that.
Positioning the stool.
And
We
you
have
know
a new chair
You know
over
what's just
here.
unbelievable? If Dave was sitting in this chair, would he have done that?
Nope.
Absolutely
Never.
not.
I would have.
Never.
0%.
I didn't think it was going to be so loud, to be honest.
Oh my God. You sound
2020
sick too. Everyone's
2020,
sick.
fake year. This is a fake year.
What does
It
that
just
mean?
feels fake. 2020. Never thought we'd make it.
It
here.
feels
It
futuristic.
does feel like, yeah, it should be flying cars
said,
and like AI running around, and it's not.
As soon as I thought about 2020, I looked up the year that iRobot happened because that feels like when that happened. That was 2035, but we're slowly making our way there.
I know, but like, it's more like 2300. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
2035.
Like in
kind of
15
different.
years, it's not gonna be what that is at
Yeah,
all.
no shot.
It's just 2020
Again,
feels so
I
weird.
always say this: until we get a hoverboard, I don't fucking care about the rest.
Like a
Elon
real
Musk,
one.
do
Not
a
a
real
fake
Yeah,
hoverboard.
not one of those ones that have wheels on the ground. A fucking skateboard that floats.
Elon
Musk, do it.
Elon Musk isn't gonna do shit.
Yeah, I mean, of course not. All he does is say he's gonna.
He'll
do
be
things
like,
and
I'm
not
gonna
do
make a hoverboard, and people will be like, yes.
them. Yeah, it stock
That's
goes
my
up,
man.
and he never
And then he's like,
delivers.
I'm just not gonna
Son
do
You
of
know
a
when
bitch.
Marty McFly stole the hoverboard?
Yeah.
And then he's going over the water?
Yep.
Here's the problem. All right, the hoverboard stalled out over the water.
Right.
But if it doesn't work over the water, why did it keep hovering?
Right. It should have fallen.
It should have fallen.
Yeah,
It should have fallen.
I've said that before too.
I don't
It's
like
just-
that.
It's not like it's a propulsion thing. It's just
No.
like a floating thing.
It wouldn't go anymore.
Right.
But it still hovered over the water.
Did you ever have the Typhoon, the remote control car, but it was like it was like a hover?
I know what you're talking about. I did not.
So
I
it
did
said
not.
it could
Quite
go
old.
over water. Yeah, I felt bad saying, did you ever have that? Because it was like, did you ever buy that for your kids, really?
Came out in like 2006. Yeah.
No, it was like a 90s thing. But yeah, you were a little too old for it. But it said that it could go over like water and sand and all that shit. And if it even like touched a puddle, the whole thing went to
Yeah.
shit. The thing was awesome though. Yeah. You never had it?
No.
You ever do like RC cars, any of that shit?
RC cars,
Yeah.
yeah. I always, like moon shoes. That's what I'm always thinking of for some reason. Old toys, moon shoes.
Yeah, those ones that you like
Yeah.
bounced on.
That's the only old toy that I really remember.
Those were stupid too.
Yeah, they were.
I bet the Midwest loved that. Oh, did you see my new moon shoes? Oh.
Ope is the real thing.
All right, let's get to the whole fucking rundown. MGM. Today's rundown is brought to you by MGM. Bet MGM. Bowl season is upon us. Really, just the national championship left, but it's been a big week.
Well,
how
there's
you
several
doing?
shitty games left.
Yeah, right.
But then we got the national. Pick that up. We got the national championship game.
What?
The guy comes in with a matching
no,
hoodie with some sneakers, and all of a sudden,
sorry.
he's
that up, please.
he's running the show here.
Your beard
looking
looks good.
looking like Todd from Breaking Bad.
Your beard looks good.
Thanks, man. I don't think it does, but I think it's coming down today.
Just wanted to change the subject.
So
Bowl games?
anyway,
yeah,
are you
you
up
were
or
doing
down
the
on the bowl
ad,
games?
and then you set me up with
How
bowl
are you
games.
doing?
Poorly.
Poorly?
I got to a certain point in the football season where I just wanted it to end desperately, and then Christmas money came in, so I put that back down, lost it, and now I just wanted to end again.
All right.
LSU is going to win the national championship.
I was gonna say that feels like if you want to go make some money, LSU, Joe Burrow would be the bet. Go to Bet MGM if you're in New Jersey. You can place a bet, and let's see what do they got. The Saturday and Sunday football this week. They're teaming up with Bet MGM. For new users, you can get using code Barstool for a $1 bet. You get $1 for every point scored in every wild card game all weekend, which will be featuring the New England Patriots.
Yes, it will.
Ooh, buddy. Place your first bet of any of the wild card games. You get the $1 for every point scored. Winnings paid in free bets must be 21 years or older, must be in New Jersey to place bets. Restrictions apply. Visit betmgm.com for the full list of terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. There's a lot to cover. I do want to start real quick with this Dan Synder video.
Good afternoon. First off, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today's the beginning of a great new year for the Redskins organization and its fans.
Which was so fucking weird because we are coming back from the holidays. I feel like you haven't seen people since Christmas, and then New Year's happens, so it is a time of year where you can get all mixed up. Saying Happy Thanksgiving on January 2nd, not reasonable.
I found this video quite disturbing,
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
quite honest.
this guy
like,
is.
it wasn't, nobody reacted, he didn't react, like the
Right.
room wasn't like, ha-ha, good
Right.
one. It felt like this was a guy who maybe had a brain aneurysm at some point, and everyone's just like not talking about
Well,
it.
and he's, Snyder is this billionaire who's like an idiot, and he's like destructive and terrible for the franchise. Like if Dave would do that, Dave would be
Yeah.
like, hey, well, we're back from Thanksgiving break, and we would all laugh and call him a moron. It would be a funny thing.
That's the difference. Everyone around
yeah.
him is like, All right, just
Like some,
let's
like-
all keep our jobs, keep the gravy boat going. And
Feels like if
nobody
you were
say
to make
anything.
fun of him, you would like hit a button and you'd like fall through a trapdoor and get eaten by a shark. or
I
something
think
like that.
Dan Snyder's one of the only people in sports that if he were actually up there having an aneurysm or a stroke, it would be funnier to his fans.
They just let him go.
They would enjoy
Is
it
there a
more if
doctor in
that
the
were
house?
the case.
Nah, nope.
I personally, not a big deal to me. I mean,
I mean, he's
don't
not
know
even
what,
close,
It's
dude.
hard to know what day it is. Whatever, it's hard to.
No.
It's holidays,
No.
holidays.
Brandon, I mean, this
whatever.
is
Nobody's
like,
working. Nobody cares.
If I said like Happy 4th of July, would that?
Well, that
how
would be
far do we
ironic.
have to
That
go?
would be ironic. I would enjoy it.
Happy Thanksgiving in January is crazy.
Was he joking or was he?
No, that's the
serious?
thing. He was just like,
No,
he didn't
wasn't
make mention
joking.
of it. He wasn't like, oh, whoops.
It just
He
fell in the room like Happy Thanksgiving.
But it is a weird time of year because
It's a weird
we've
time
been
of year.
off. I mean, we're blessed to have 2 weeks off here. It felt like I
Yeah.
was in a time warp.
I wonder what his work weeks are like. Wonder what his holidays are like.
How did he make his money?
Yeah, that was my next question. Like, where's that?
Where those billies come from?
Look at this guy. He's doing nothing.
Hey,
If Dave was here, he'd
have
have all
Dan
the
Snyder
facts
make
ready.
his money.
Yeah.
Where's Nate?
Fucking unbelievable.
Not even in here.
Unfucking
It's just,
believable.
it's one
What a
of
great
Like I
operation
said,
we're
I
running.
first saw it and like I didn't
Founder
even
of
laugh.
Snyder Communications.
That's
Some
funny.
telecom, huh?
I watched it and I didn't even laugh. I was like, what is this? What am I looking at? Why is that? Why did he deadpan Thanksgiving?
And there's really no, like, of course his franchise sucks and he doesn't get how to work with people and build a winner because he's clearly some sort of fucking social
Is he the
misfit.
most hated owner in sports?
He's certainly up there.
Dolan, maybe?
I was gonna say Dolan. The Wilpons with the Mets are there's
I
not a
think
big
that's
enough
just,
scale.
I don't think that's big enough.
That's what I mean. The
Dolan
Mets
is-
aren't big enough. Like,
Dolan
the
is
Knicks being terrible is a problem.
internationally
The
hated,
Washington
yeah.
Redskins being a problem. You know.
Snyder's got the thing where where race is involved and people are like, fuck
That
this
is
guy.
a problem.
I had a couple of people tweeting because I quote tweeted the video of him saying Happy Thanksgiving. Some people were like, he's making a Native American joke. I was like, what are you talking
that
about?
would
All right,
be-
that's.
I was like,
calm
you're
your
wrong.
titties.
You-
Imagine that.
You person, you're wrong.
That's a move I would almost. I don't want to say respect, but that is a fucking.
That just simply cannot be what
hey,
he's doing.
Redskins owner, Native American joke, sounds good.
Nope.
Nope, can't do that. It's a college
So you're
football.
saying you would respect it if he dove off into that pool?
I would. I can't agree with it, but people who are defiantly like, I don't fucking care. I kind of I do
Came out
tip
in
my
headdress
cap.
and said, Happy Thanksgiving, bitches. That would be a little.
To me, that would
Just a little.
respect's not the right word, but
It's a villain move for sure.
right. Super villain. Like we suck, and I'm gonna lean into the fact that we're racist.
You wouldn't say that you respect him, but you would like quietly be like, well, this guy,
yeah.
guy's
That's a guy.
I'm not trifling with that guy.
not fucking with him.
That guy does not fuck around.
weird video.
Big bowl season, so there's a lot of games to cover. Obviously, Joe Burrow and LSU. So I wasn't able to watch that game. I just checked the score at halftime or like the middle of the third quarter on Gamecast.
Yeah.
And I legitimately thought something was broken.
So
I was like,
I knew
this can't be.
I knew going in that there were 3 national title contenders and Oklahoma was a pretender. We knew that going in.
Right.
I didn't know to the scale that Oklahoma was going to lose to LSU. I didn't know Joe Burrow was going to all of a sudden make me realize this is the greatest season by a college quarterback
so?
we've ever seen.
I saw a lot of people
It's
trying to mitigate it with
unbelievable.
like his supporting cast.
But every quarterback that plays in a national title or plays for a national title is going to have an elite supporting cast. That's
Mm-hmm.
how college football works. Any quarterback that succeeded at Alabama or USC in
Mm-hmm.
their heyday has had an elite supporting cast. But nobody's ever done what he's doing right now.
To that level.
Ever.
So-
and Cam Newton is one that I heard.
I was going to say, Bomani Jones was pushing that real hard.
Okay, that's fine. They both played 14 games. Joe Burrow has 1,600 more total yards and 7 more touchdowns.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's sizable.
You all right?
That's considerable.
My mic for sure.
Trent.
Boy.
Use the stick, Mike. I mean,
Oh, now Tommy's gets to be off the whole time.
Should I try to do that?
Jesus Christ.
You could try.
I mean,
You spend the
Trent,
rest of the
I mean,
rundown.
I got some.
You know what
Let me
really?
hold- let me hold the
You know
mic.
what really would have helped you there? A solidly placed ope. If you're like, oh, drop my mic back. Yeah, see, if you're a true ope guy, you would have said it
Yeah.
right then and there.
That was a
Don't try to
classic
expose
Oak
my
spot.
genuine openness.
You are fake ope.
I'm trying. Oh wow, put the batteries in the right way.
That was quick.
So Joe Burrow, greatest of all time.
Joe, wow.
I think we're gonna do a toss.
Throw it at him.
Is it not
Joe
right?
Burrow seems to be putting together the greatest season of all
Do
time.
you think he has to win the title to be
I
called
think
the
should
greatest?
be pushed over that, and he probably has to have good numbers. He
In the title
can't
game.
win. He can't be like yesterday. Justin Herbert threw for 138 yards
Yeah,
and won
it's
the
got
Rose
to
Bowl.
be like
He
the
can't do
reason
that.
why they win.
He's got to be the reason why they win, and he's
Yeah.
been so far. I think they're going to beat Clemson.
Got it.
But Ohio State, Clemson was a great
you.
game. What sticks out to me so far in bowl season is the incredible shittiness of officiating.
Yeah.
throughout.
And honestly, all of sports. It just
all
feels
the
like
sports.
all of officiating
The
getting
money
worse
is
and worse.
bigger than it's ever been. The camera, the production is bigger than it's ever been. The players are making more money than they've ever been. And the officiating seems like it's just shitty. And it's as shitty as it's ever been. Both playoff games had blatant missed calls, and then yesterday the Rose Bowl ended on a blatant missed call of a pass interference, Oregon, Wisconsin. Now that's the Rose Bowl and those are playoffs, but it's so important these days.
That
How are
Ohio State
officials
call
still
was
shitty?
brutal.
Has
I
officiating
mean,
just always been this bad, or is it actually
well, that's
getting
always
worse?
the toss-up
feel-
is always, are we just talking about it more on social media, and our TV angles are getting better and better, and on the field it's not.
That's what I think it is to me.
There's definitely a case.
I think we can see more, and they're just like, you guys are all changing. We are just
Correct.
refs on the field with 2 eyes.
But I do believe if you're ever talking about like, do they deserve full-time pay and should they be on it all year
Yeah.
long? Like there is enough money, like he said, that everybody should be getting paid enough that you can do just this and excel at just this.
They
sure.
should, but I'll tell you another thing that's absolutely useless. These rules experts they put in the booth, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Because all they're going to do is cover up for the guys on the field. They did it in the Ohio State game. They did it yesterday in the Rose Bowl, and then Herb Street even changed his story to back up the rules official. They're useless. They're useless.
Well, them being that way is useless. If they had someone in the booth going, this
They
is
would be
fucking
useful,
crazy,
but
yeah.
the way they're
Yeah.
being used
Right.
is without use.
But I think having a guy who would be willing to be like, I'm a professional, I'm an expert in this field, and that guy fucked up would actually be the best part of the broadcast. But do they have the balls to ever do that? Probably not.
well, they haven't so far.
Right.
Unlikely.
So we're all over the place because there's so much to cover here. The Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Pope is.
What'd the Pope do?
Did you see this video?
You saw this,
I
right?
think I saw the video.
Yeah. I'm
I saw the Pope
a
doing
huge
something on
Pope
Twitter.
guy.
Okay.
I love the Pope.
Regardless of which pope it is?
I respect the papacy. I respect the
you
Vatican.
respect the, like with the presidents,
office.
like respect the
Yes.
office. Yeah.
I was not too keen on the Nazi one.
They got him
Ratzinger,
out quick,
yeah,
though.
real quick.
They
I
were
mean,
like,
there's that
no.
movie, The Two Popes, is out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy, yeah, it's good. The one dude looks so much like Pope Francis that at first I thought it was like a documentary that Anthony Hopkins was just like narrating, and then I realized it was Anthony Hopkins playing. I realized it was a fictional fucking movie about
I'm
the popes.
with you on the Pope that everything's great. The best was when they were trying to pick a new one, and the white and the black smoke, where
Conclave is electric.
it's so good.
And it's turned into a
Everything.
circus when
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman was promoting the Black Pope and all that shit.
Yeah.
Conclave, I don't want anything bad to happen to Pope Frankie, but Conclave is electric.
So what does Pope
So
do?
the Pope, he's like walking by, and there's like these fans behind like a barrier, and they kind of shake hands, and she kind of grabs him
Yeah.
and like won't let go, and he's trying to walk away, and he's like, "Get off me!" And then he like slapped her on the hand.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I'm fine with that.
he's the Pope. He can do way worse.
I think
You're
we
lucky he
should-
didn't slap you in the fucking
There
face.
should be
Yeah.
more slapping in our society, period.
Well, have you ever seen the other video of when he was doing? It wasn't like communion, but they were all coming up in a line, and they would shake hands,
yeah.
and they all tried to kiss his hand, and he kept pulling
that's
away.
weird.
So like, no, it's
if you're wearing
not.
the Pope ring, though, people kiss it.
I guess, but maybe he's like the new modern Pope, who's like, maybe it's time to stop kissing my fucking ring.
Well,
Like
maybe,
enough.
Maybe you should take the ring off and like put it on a
If
stand and let
I-
him kiss it.
If I was
Wave to me and kiss
if
the
I was
kiss
the
podium.
Pope, I would never leave the Pope mobile. I would
Oh, yeah.
never get out of that thing.
Just put me in the bubble.
Pictures are hilarious, and people can't like get to you. Like,
I
it's not
do
exactly
think that.
Pope behavior to smack someone's hand or like not let people kiss you, but it's like
By the way, yes, it is.
That-
Like
I kinda
rulers
thought
and
so,
priests
too, yeah,
and nuns,
yeah.
they whack you.
Anytime you get to that high
I
of an
guess
office,
that's
you,
true.
you should be able to
But
whack
isn't
somebody.
it about forgiveness and you got to be kind to your brother and
I
your
guess so,
sister?
but that's kind of like, in general, it should be all about that, and instead it's all about like, no, you're gonna burn in hell unless you give me money.
True.
I think that the Pope is probably the most like touched guy in the world. Like they feel like they're like touching divinity, and he's probably like, stop fucking
That was
touching.
another part of it though. But if you are going to become Pope, you gotta prepare to be based
Touched.
just every time you're out and
He's
about.
trying to change the game.
You're
He's letting the gays do what they want. He's letting
Yeah.
people wear condoms. He's putting dogs in heaven, and stop fucking touching me.
He's the fucking Pope though. He's the Pope.
Yes,
I'm on the
do
other
it.
side
I know,
of it,
but it's
though.
like you're arguing for me. Do what you want, Pope.
Has Portnoy ever made anybody kiss a ring here?
Literally kiss the ring. I mean, he noogied Nate. That was about.
I feel like that's an idea that he's probably going to flesh out at some point.
I feel like if it didn't happen with Belichick and Mangini and Rex Ryan kiss the rings, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Don't put any fucking
I was gonna say,
ideas
don't
out
put
there,
that
you
in
know
No,
what I mean?
I'm just asking a question.
I'm surprised he's not here on January 2nd to talk to you about it personally, because usually this is the day he comes in and complains about people taking extended vacation. But
Bottom
Not this
line,
year.
Oh.
the more Pope content, the better. I feel like we've been the well has been dry in terms of the Pope. And,
I like
and
Pope
content.
content.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's electric.
It's so good.
I mean, because literally a billion people get all bent out of shape over it. It's
yeah,
incredible.
like-
he already apologized for this, obviously.
Did he?
Yeah.
I like any time a leader, whether it's the Pope or an elected official, does something like slapping somebody or something controversial
Something a little
that isn't,
it's human.
it doesn't fit into what they're supposed to
Yeah.
be doing.
The
I like
look
that.
on his face when he after he hits the hand and walks away, he is just like, I'm sick of this gig,
Just
man. I'm
dismissive.
sick of this.
Well,
I'm getting too old
I mean,
for this shit.
the Nazi Pope got out of there in a hurry, and I think that movie, The Two Popes, is about it, where he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I can understand the Popes being like, that's heavy lies the crown.
It's
Yeah.
weird because we had JP2 for like 40 years.
Yeah.
A
And
long
then
time.
we went bang
JP2.
bang.
And he was
Yeah.
just being Pope was easy.
Yeah.
He was running things as Pope, and then these guys.
No,
Nazi
not
Pope.
so much. There's a lot to handle with the changing times. But I'm
Do
pro
you
Pope
think
no
you
matter
could
who
Pope?
sits there.
Could you Pope?
Could I Pope?
Could you Pope?
I want to say yes just because I want to ride in that car so bad.
Pope mobile it up.
I want to ride in the Pope.
I feel like you could wear like the robes well
You'd
too.
look good in the robe.
Yeah,
I
you would
would.
look great.
up there.
You have a good robe body, I think.
Yeah, that's
A good
that's
robe
kind
body,
of a
that
mean
feels
thing
like
to say.
a-
That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
backhand
That
shot.
feels like a critique on my
It's like, hey,
frame.
you have a body that you would need to cover in
Yeah.
heavy
Make
drapes.
sure there's no definition anywhere, so
got
it just
good
goes
robe
straight
body.
down the side.
How
like
about that? How about that
circus
baby
tent.
picture
Good,
you?
thick robe, you know?
What?
Pull up that baby picture you posted.
Oh, okay.
You got to see this kid as a baby.
Actually,
He has a gigantic
Well, he's
head
got
to
it
be
on-
expected.
on his
no,
desk.
no. I mean more like a child, not a baby.
I'm so-
Because yeah, we've seen when he was like a 20-pound baby, but he still has a huge head, and then he's got this like jacked body. It
I'm
looks like
so
you were doing
used
steroids.
to being lived the life of a gargantuan baby that when I saw this picture and put it up, I was like, I didn't even notice anything weird about it.
I mean, he kind of looks like a little bodybuilder, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
You're very thick. I mean, like,
And he's
you're
got
all
like
shoulders and biceps.
The leg,
his quads.
the leg muscle is concerning, certainly.
Yeah.
In terms of how old
And
I
your
was.
head
the
is
length of
like
your
the size
arm
of Brandon
compared to the
Walker's
length of
right
your
now.
leg is odd too.
You know what it looks like? A midget. You look like you have a midget body. You have a midget baby body.
It kind of looks like a kid who's growing who's actually standing behind fake legs.
Yeah, like
It
he,
looks
like
like
you put
you're
his head
standing
through a
behind fake
cutout.
legs.
You put your head through a cutout and like take a picture.
I mean,
But it's
Yeah, I
a
mean-
daunting young man. I wouldn't mess with that young man.
look how blonde that hair is. I don't know what happened to that hair. It went away, but I was.
It's gone.
It's gone. I'm wearing this hat for a reason.
Keeping it moving. Aunt Becky has hired a prison expert to teach her the lingo and martial arts. So she's got like a prison Sherpa.
Nobody's gonna hate on this, right?
No.
This is a genius move.
I mean,
If you got the money, if you got the resources, prepare yourself.
I'm sure
Okay.
she would hire somebody to go to prison for it
Yeah.
if she could. But
see, that's what they should be.
this
They
is
should be cloning her. And
second
Not
best
a-
option.
how is that not a thing?
yeah, like
Like if in the
Like-
world of the rich and the powerful, like I'll just pay you like $1 million.
some face-off type shit.
Yeah.
Put my face on yours and you go do the
Yeah.
bid for
Who's
me.
to say they're not doing it?
I think the problem is that you can't let people know that. You know what I mean?
I see.
Like
So-
if you rule number one, they always say you go in there, you take down the biggest, baddest person.
Yeah.
It's like,
This
whoa,
show
did
is
your
weakness.
your tutor teach you that? You know what I mean? Kind of ruins
you
the,
don't
the
think somebody in
realness.
prison's gonna look at her like, whoa, everybody stay back. She's been taught.
She's been going to
This
lessons.
one's been trained.
Yeah.
No, they'll be
And-
like,
and-
you're right. Actually, they'll be like, I'll teach you a lesson,
Yeah.
and then they'll just
And
kill her.
especially with the lingo, like you walk in there, you walk up to like the Mexican guys, like, "What's up, SA?" And they're like, "Aunt Becky, shut the fuck up."
Maybe I'm not familiar enough, but is she going to like a maximum security prison?
I doubt
Surely
it's
not,
like.
right?
I don't think it's like with violent offenders, but I think she's going to like real
Was-
jail
it
for
was
a
at
real
first where
amount
she
of
was
time.
like, haha, I'm spending like 3 weeks in prison, and then more charges came,
Yeah.
and now she's like legitimately like nervous.
I don't
By
like
the way, I
the-
think
I
this is
don't
the
like the
grossest
idea.
miscarrying of justice I've ever seen in my life.
You think parents should be able to pay?
I definitely think so.
And-
And even okay, let's say that they went too far or did something wrong with it, to like go to real ass jail for that is fucking crazy. They were a little
Yeah.
cocky with their in the aftermath, being like, "We're fine," so maybe that's why. But this should have been like a big fine and some probation or
No,
something.
her
like,
punishment
send her
should
to
be
jail?
take the equivalent amount of money and put other kids in school.
Sure. Do
like-
some good with it.
yeah, do some
Her
good with
going
it.
to jail doesn't mean a fucking thing.
No, it doesn't. No.
That to me was people don't like the wealthy elite like throwing their money around, so they made an example out
And
of her.
it
but-
adversely affected the final season of Fuller House on Netflix.
which I mean, I
Boy.
know how much you love that.
I mean, you
rough.
still haven't recovered.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, the only part one's out right now. Part two will come out in February. But, oof, God, I have an 11-year-old daughter. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why you watch it, right?
It's 100% why I watch it.
I found myself embroiled in a little.
I love Stephanie Tanner so much. I've loved Stephanie Tanner since I was like 8 years old.
You know, we had moved. We had
Stephanie
moved.
Stephanie, it was Stephanie. I know.
We
I
had
just needed to
jumped to the
say
next
that.
topic
I
already.
needed to say that.
I mean,
Stephanie Tanner.
you know what?
She's just
Continue. You know, just go ahead.
She's
Yeah.
a beautiful
I mean,
lady. She had problems.
That's a weird
She got
choice.
into meth for a while.
Yeah, Jodie Sweetin had her
But,
issues.
listen,
but
we
like
all have
in a
issues.
show where we could talk about Aunt Becky and how
Yeah.
hot she was, or John Stamos, Uncle Jesse.
Sure.
I don't think that Stephanie is like the one. You know, Gia was
We
super
gotta
hot,
understand,
smoking cigs in the
yeah,
bathroom.
I
Like,
was the same age as Stephanie, so it was okay for me to say she was hot at the time.
how rude.
Don't ever fucking do that again. What was that? Anyway.
That's the gift.
That's what she says.
No, I
how-
understand that's what she says.
Yeah, a real
okay.
Stephanie fan would know that.
No, I know
Well, it
that.
seems like you
I
didn't.
didn't like that you said it.
Oh, what?
I-
Too
you
good?
didn't.
But I didn't actually say anything that was rude. That's the problem. You just said it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just doing my Stephanie
And it
impersonation.
sets you up.
Yeah.
Impersonation?
Impersonation. Impressionation?
Impressionation.
Fuck
All right.
off.
You
Again,
fuck
you
off.
come in here with
Everybody
these
fuck off.
sneakers and you think
January
you're hot
2nd.
shit all of a
It's-
sudden.
Yeah. You're wearing your new outfit.
This is like the first day of school for Brandon Walker, but he's a 40-year-old man.
Did you lay that out last night?
No, my kid, Trent, my kid, this is what they got me for Christmas. These shoes and this sweatshirt. It was important to them I wear it, so I
Yeah,
wore it.
That's
you're a
sweet.
good dad.
And my wife got me one of those fucking coats with the fur around the hood.
Okay.
Which I don't know if I'm gonna wear.
You can do that.
I've been making fun of people for wearing those forever.
Listen, you've been making fun of all of, like New York and shit, I'm sure. Now it's time to embrace who you
Yeah.
become.
I'm not
You're
becoming
going to the dark
anybody.
side.
I
Oh,
still
yeah,
want to
yeah.
eat fried catfish every Friday.
You still want to?
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
It is
No,
good.
it
It's
doesn't.
so good.
But
Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had catfish.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I'm here in New York. Do you think, let's just presuming, would you be more uncomfortable in Mississippi than I am in New York? Let's say I sent you down there for 2 weeks.
You and I talked a little
Yeah,
bit about this.
Probably because
With the Oak stuff. And I said that if you actually came home with me, you might end up killing somebody. Because things are it's just different.
the slow pace of life
Okay.
would probably eat me up.
This is great. Okay, us three, Midwest, South,
Yep.
New York, we do a triple switch.
Life swap.
We all move
I've been
one place.
switching for 3
We
years.
all move one place. Trent goes to Mississippi, I go to New York, which I am. You go to Iowa. Who does best?
I love the South. Every time I go to the South, I think it's South and Midwest are similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, those
And
two kinda go hand in
like,
hand.
Every time I go down there, I'm just like, this feels like
Right
just
for you,
everybody's
yeah.
super nice. The one thing the Midwest is really missing is the accents. You guys have like, I'm from the South, so I talk like this. Midwest, we just talk like every weather person in the world.
Okay, all right.
I feel like I hate the fact that when I go somewhere else, I'm like this waitress is so slow. Come on. Like I don't want to be that way, but I just am after 30 fucking years. You know what I mean? I would like to say I would do all right, but I probably would end up freaking out. But I think ultimately like do all right. Like in terms of life, I feel like we hustle and like we're always working and you know what I mean.
You'd get kicked out, of
Yeah.
Iowa.
I wouldn't have many friends, but I think I would have like professional success.
You would just like, because everyone else is so passive aggressive and they don't want to like hurt anyone else's feelings. You would dominate because you are the opposite. You
I
would
kind
just
of
like
think that.
Yeah.
But I also think that like some like good old boys from the South would murder me. Like I feel like like a pickup truck would show up and then you'd like shoot me with a shotgun.
Yeah, no, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
You're doing all right here in New York though.
Oh, I'm doing great.
All right.
I'm doing great.
Great.
Yeah, I got my new shoes. I got my new sweatshirt. B-Wall with a new fit. I'm
City
good.
Brandon.
Yeah.
City Brandon.
So I found myself embroiled in a little Jets controversy with this Twitter burner situation with Manish Mahta and Adam Gase. If you don't know the backstory of Manish Mahta, he's a New York Daily News beat reporter. Very controversial, always stirring the pot, always has personal problems with players and coaches. He wrote a story saying Adam Gase has a burner account. It looked very much like Adam Gase was anonymously defending himself on the internet. Fast forward, that was Christmas Eve. Fast forward to a couple days ago, I jokingly said it was Manish. All of a sudden, the Twitter account disappears. Now all eyes are looking at him, and it looks like this account started with him and ended with him, and it turns out it might have been him all along, which is a fucking wild-ass move if you
So
are a
you
beat reporter.
accidentally sniffed out.
Yeah, I was totally joking. And as soon as I brought it up, he deleted the account. And I was like, well, that was
Somebody
weird.
deleted the account.
Somebody deleted the account. And then he was DMing me, and then there was chatter. And
Was
I
there
was just,
anger in his DMs?
It was just like, haha, that's not me, dude. And I was like, it really looks like it's you, man.
I sort of know all the people involved because I read your blog about it. But the most important thing that I took from it is that I now know that this is a possibility. Like
Right.
the awareness that someone can create a burner, pretend to be a famous person, but also have ulterior motives and be a different person. That's just good on the internet to know that
But
that's
now
a
there's
thing.
also an idea that like it could be Adam Gase or someone else who saw the opportunity to pin it on Manish and did that.
I think it's all positive in terms of like it's good to know that stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
Because I would have never thought, like, I thought it stopped at Adam Gase had a burner, and that's just how people did it. Kevin Durant, burner. It's
Right.
never someone trying to be Kevin Durant and
Having a
actually
burner,
someone else and
yeah.
trying to pin it. It's just good to know that that stuff's happening. Is that a timeout?
Yeah, I need a 30.
Brandon's brain is about to
Yeah,
explode.
my mind got incepted there for a second.
Okay.
So what you said was it could have been somebody that was pinning it on Manish.
Right. Well, so all
Even
of a
though
sudden,
that person would have had to have prior knowledge that you were going to make a joke about it.
no, because as soon as I joked about it. We kind of like my followers started saying it was him. All of a sudden, that account tweeted out and deleted a link to Manish's blog. So let's say you were running the account and you were like, "Oh, wait a minute, people are thinking it's
Trent's just
Manish."
helping me through this.
I am. You got it.
So you could tweet out. Let's just do it with you two.
Sure.
You
Okay.
could tweet out a link to Trent's blog,
right.
delete it, and make it look like it was Trent being like, "Oh shoot, I forgot to log out of my account,"
I
Yeah.
see.
and delete the whole account, and then it looks like Trent.
I see. Okay.
So
All right.
there's, I mean, everything's
At
on the
what
table
point
right
did
here.
you start feeling like Charlie Day being like,
Oh,
up
absolutely,
on the, yeah, you're
absolutely.
like,
Because again, I never even really cared and didn't expect it, but all of a sudden it disappeared, and I was like, wait a fucking minute, dude. So burners have been hot in the streets the last couple years.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know, I don't think you can prove it any further, other than common sense. But at least in the Jets world, and if you know this beat reporter, it is something.
What sounds like to me is this Manish Mahta guy, the next thing that he would do, even if it wasn't him, would be admit that it was him. Like
Well, that's
he
the other thing
seems-
that's so
Would he
damning
claim
and
it if it
guilty.
was him?
Well, he went Twitter dark. Like he's on Twitter all the time. All these accusations are flying around 24 hours, nothing. That's
That's
guilty.
not how you keep your cool.
No, yeah.
A beat writer would never, even if it was him, would never ever retroactively claim it was him.
This guy sounds like he might.
Well, so here's the problem: is that like I can't decide whether the Daily News would like fire him or give him a raise because they're like a tabloid now, and it's almost like no such thing as bad publicity.
yeah. He sounds like
Fair
one
enough.
of us.
Well, I've interviewed him before, and I said, just admit that you're like a blogger, and then I don't care.
Yeah.
But you claim like to have journalistic integrity and all that shit, and you don't. And he was like, no, I'm a columnist. I'm like, no, you're not, dude. You just want your clicks and your followers, and that's what we all want. But just admit it.
And they were saying that's why he was so short, or Adam Gase was so short with the Le'Veon Bell questions, because
Because he was the one asking them. So it
makes
wasn't that
more
he had
sense.
problems with Bell. He
Yeah.
had problems. I don't know. The Jets are a fucking mess, man.
Oh, yeah. This is what your football team is focusing on.
Yeah, I know.
Look
We're not
how
in the
bored
play.
Tommy is.
I'm enjoying the discussion.
You're so sick. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
Everyone came back here with the flu. It's like we all should have just taken another couple days off.
Why did we come back on a Thursday?
Well, usually January 2nd is a day of reckoning where Dave comes
catch-
in and he's like, "Who's
Yep.
ready to work?"
You'll
again? And
catch
he just didn't show up
hellfire if
today.
you're not here. Yeah.
August 1st, January 2nd, 2 days you have to be at work and work and like.
Oh, I'm here. I'm just saying. It just fell on an odd day of the week.
Yeah.
It's hard to get your week started on a Thursday.
No, I agree that we should have just canceled the whole thing until Monday. Last topic, real quick. Gene Simmons, I might be a little bit woke on this when it comes to getting followers and attraction. Gene Simmons tweeted out that he puts ice cubes in his cereal, and the cereal was also shredded wheat mixed with Oreo O's.
It looked like cow shit. The cereal looked terrible.
Terrible.
It looked like cow shit.
I'm a little woke to it too, because there was that trend for a while where a random person on Reddit would be like, "I'm from the Midwest and I put cheese on my Pop-Tarts,"
Like,
and
no,
it
you
would
don't.
it would just blow up, and
Yeah.
people were like, "Can you believe they do this in this part of the country?" And it feels a little like that
I mean,
to me.
if it was just ice cubes, if it was one or the other, but the fact that he mixed weird cereals
Yeah.
and then also put ice cubes in, and is like an old guy who like, I feel like, one of his interns or something like that was like, "Hey Gene, I'll get your Twitter followers up." Like,
He was like, "Sure, do it."
So let's say it's real.
Okay.
Let's say he actually does it.
that's
Is the milk
disgusting.
not cold? Is he not using cold milk? What would be the practical use of an
Yeah.
ice cube in cereal?
And then it melts, so you have like watered down milk. Maybe you use those like metal cubes if you need if you
Maybe
want
you
to
do.
Have you
keep
ever
it
been
cold.
Maybe you freeze milk, and that's the cube you put in there. Like when they used to do that with coffee, they would freeze like cream cubes, and you could put them in your coffee.
And it
So
melts.
as it melts, it's sort of double
Yeah,
purpose.
but have you ever in your life been eating Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loops and
Yeah, it's too
said,
warm.
"I wish this was colder"?
Yeah,
No.
because I mean, I'm finishing a bowl within 2 minutes. I don't know. I'm just like spooning it in.
It's fast.
What's the best cereal?
Of all time,
yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You? You're gonna say something stupid.
No, you did your list. And
You're gonna say like total.
CTC was number 1.
Was it?
Yeah.
My man.
Maybe do some research. You know I'm going to be on the show. Find out what my favorite cereal
Give me
is.
your list.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
I had the list.
Oh wow, this is
Smacks was on the list.
Ooh.
Cocoa Krispies was number 2. Frosted
Interesting.
Flakes was number 4. Smacks was number 5.
You don't remember number 2 though.
I don't remember number 3.
Oh, so I thought Smacks
Smacks was
occupied-
5. I don't remember what number 3 was.
I love cereal. I'll eat a lot of cereal of all sorts. Even some of the lame ones I find to be
Sometimes
pretty.
I'll just go down, I'll buy 3 boxes of cereal, and that'll be I'm just eat that until I'm out.
Yeah, like
that'll
it's
be
all
my
your
meals until I go.
Yeah, I'll do breakfast at all times. I'll do breakfast as a dessert. I'll do breakfast as a meal. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like Lucky Charms as long as there's enough marshmallows left and I haven't picked them all out.
I feel like if you need marshmallows, your cereal's not. A lot of people were putting on for a Captain Crunch, but that tears your mouth up.
It does. It hurts a lot.
But
I
it's
like Corn
such a
Pops.
good burn.
Corn Pops is good.
Corn Pops is good. I can't remember what number 3
I
was.
actually don't like a lot of the chocolate cereals.
No.
Which is surprising because I'm a chocolate guy.
You don't like
but
Cocoa Krispies?
Cocoa Krispies, Reese
Fruit-
Puffs.
I'd rather have
Honey Nut Cheerios were number 3.
Yeah, that's a good That's a good
I'll take
quality.
like a Fruity
Old
Pebbles
Faithful.
over any chocolate cereal.
I never got into fruity cereals. I didn't get into Fruit Loops either.
I did Tricks when I was a kid, but you know, silly rabbit. Tricks
They're
for
for kids.
you know.
So.
That makes sense.
All right.
But Oreos, shredded wheat, and ice cubes, I'm not buying it. That ain't real.
Really limping to the finish here.
So that's it for the first rundown of the new year. 2020 is upon us. Hey, do you have a resolution?
Yeah, well, same as everybody else. I'm a little flabby in the chest
Anything
area.
otherwise outside of
I want to read
physical
one
body?
book a week.
A week?
That's like
Like,
52 books in
know.
a year,
Yeah.
man.
I want to read.
Are we talking like,
thought about
sports
pulling-
biographies? Or are we talking
I
like...
read mostly sports nonfiction. Yes.
Right.
You nailed that one.
Yeah, I figured that. I didn't take you for like
Look
a
at you,
Harry
look at your
Potter guy or
desk. You're
something
wearing
like
an
that.
Ozzy Smith shirt under here.
Yeah,
You're like,
I thank you for shouting out the shirt.
Do you want to show the Ozzy
No,
Smith
I'm not gonna
shirt?
show it. I'm not gonna show it. I'll wear it another day because Casey made me wear this. Even
did.
though it's none of her fucking business.
Did she
made me
crack
wear
that
this.
web? She cracked that
she
web.
did. You listening to that was like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
I think I'll have to.
The podcast, we know like the podcast dominance now.
you
We know
think,
the
you think
relationship.
I'm the
Fans.
unnecessary roughness bitch?
What's that?
You think I'm the bitch of unnecessary roughness? Accurate.
Yeah.
It's accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
You nailed that one.
You
All
bumped
right.
the bench.
Anything else?
You got a resolution?
Nope.
No. All right.
Wow.
I don't,
It's a motivated bunch here.
All
All right.
Ended with a thud.
That's the rundown.
Do you have one?
Yeah, well, I brought Mail Time back, which is an old podcast, and I'm going to try to blog more. I'm going to try to get back in the blog game. I haven't done it for years.
Okay.